Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. We are back again this week. Can you believe it? Still above ground, looking good. We got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot of stuff's happened this week, and you guys really need to take heed to some of this stuff. Before we get going on all of that, I want to thank our very important veterans and first responders for all you do and all you continue to do. If you don't know by now, you should know that our troops are headed toward harm's way. You got two carrier task force groups heading off the coast of Lebanon and Israel. And you also have a MAU, which is a Marine Amphibious Unit, heading that direction as well. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Okay. All right. Wounded Warrior Project and St. Jude's Research Hospital. Those are our charities of choice. We give to them every year. And you can help us help them and help yourself. We have a Patreon site. You can go over there. Donate to that. You get full contact with me. If you need me, you can ask me questions and so forth. And in that, all that money goes to help these two charities. I appreciate you guys helping us help them. All right, here we go. Fuel prices. Fuel prices are down this week to an average of $4.44 a gallon. That's down 5 cents and almost 5.5 cents a gallon from a week ago. So at least we're headed in the right direction. News, guys, this is some of the stuff I wanted to talk to you about. The larger brokers have stopped onboarding carriers altogether, meaning if you're not with them now, they're not taking any new carriers into their platform. It has a lot to do with the fact that there's just too many trucks out there right now. Now, PLS has stopped onboarding any carriers. If you're not with them now, you're not going to get with them. Now, some brokers, this is a new thing that come up. Some brokers are requiring that the carrier pass the new entry safety audit before onboarding them. That's 18 months, guys. That's not 6 months. That's not 3 months. That's not 6 months. That's not a year. That's within the first 18 months at some point. You never know when that's going to happen. You have other brokers out there that will require 6 to 12 months and 2 roadside inspections. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands the ramifications of this. If this information has come to us, we're disseminating it to you. What we've done on our side is we stopped taking any new carriers that's not at least 6 months old under dispatch. We're not going to do it. It's too much. It's not that we don't want to do it, but there's so many roadblocks now that it's not worth messing with. If you're trying to get in this business, what needs to happen is you need to find somebody that you can lease onto and go that route, because getting an MC right now is a waste of time and energy and money. So that's that little bit of news. All right. Another news, more than 270 employees who worked at Metal Arc Transport in Billings are now without jobs. They shut down. 40-year-old transportation company shut down, couldn't make it. So this is the kind of stuff I'm telling you. Now, the CVSA released, you guys remember, I kept throwing this out there, brake safety check week, brake safety check week. 18,875 commercial motor vehicles were inspected that week, August 20th through the 26th. And the results were this: Of the total vehicles inspected, 12.6% had brake-related out-of-service violations. That is 2,078 and a quarter trucks. Think about that. 2,378 trucks. And, you know, you have to think about every day you're driving down the road by these trucks. You know, I tell my family, stay away from them. Don't be behind them. If you're going to pass them, get around them, get far in front of them, and then cut back over in the lane. 2,378 vehicles that were inspected had brake issues. All right, this come out this week. Operation Safe Driving Week. If you remember that, Operation Safe Driving was where they were looking at speeding, dangerous driving, improper lanes, those kind of things. And although speeding was still the number one reason that they gave warnings, it was not the number one reason they gave citations. They gave citations for state and local things. They didn't go deep into it. I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you that commercial motor vehicles, more than 1,500 warnings and 700 plus tickets were given. Okay. So 1,500 warnings and 700 citations were given. For the passenger vehicles, it was 625 warnings and nearly 1,300 tickets were written. So this year in citations, speeding fell to the number 2 spot for commercial drivers, with other state and local driver violations at number 1. Okay. All right. This week's DD214 events. Well, we've had a week, guys. It's not over either. I mean, it was chugging along when I clamped down on it to do this. We filed 2 claims on brokers for non-payment this week. We had a fender bender. We had a driver and a fender bender. We had another double brokering event. And stick around a minute. I'm going to go through exactly how this double brokering thing worked. And then we let a driver go this week. I fired a driver. I cut him loose. I'm going to just tell you now, I won't name him, but, you know, I always said, if you lie to me, you steal from me. And he did both. So he is gone. All right. One more thing on that. I'm not so sure that I just told Mila, I said, you know, I think I'm going to go to his local municipality and I think I'm going to file a police complaint on him. I think I'm that pissed off over this situation. So we're going to see where that leads. All right. Reminder, this is your reminder, guys. If to New York, I'm not putting this on here next week. If you hadn't done it by now, you're not going to do it. All your quarterly HUD filings are due. Third quarter 2023 is due. All right. It'll be the last reminder. All right. Before we go too much further, let's go on here and say hi to everybody. All right, Alexander. Hello, Mr. Palmer. I didn't know. I don't know you. I'm assuming you're new here. Ozzy, hey brother. Kelly, King of None. Sorry, King of None. I thought maybe you changed that, King of None. I thought, well, maybe he's now King of One. Allie, how you doing? We got Dale in the house. We got Alan Swaby. Hey, Alan. Albert Gordon. Amon Kishore. Joe. Colton Price. Hey, Officer Price. Glad you could make it, brother. So we got a lot of guys in here tonight, man. I'm glad to see everybody. Do stick around a minute. We are going to talk about this double brokering thing again. I'm going to show you who it is. I'm outing them now. I'm done. I mean, they're costing me tens of thousands of dollars, and they're thieves. That's all it is. They're just thieves. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Glad to see everybody here. All right. Filed a claim on 2 brokers for non-payment. Beyond Transport, LLC. They are no longer in business. All right. Probably won't see any money from that. They're already gone. They didn't pay. They ran it out and gone. They kept the money and off they went. Metal Agency. Believe it or not, that company I described up in the news section, Metal Arc, we'd run a load for them. And they're still authorized, but they're out of business, and we ended up filing a claim. We'll probably never see any money in that. But this particular load was run by Jeremy. Okay. And what I think we're going to do is we're going to file, once the bankruptcy filing comes out, because they're filing bankruptcy, we're going to file a claim through the bankruptcy court with it to try to get some more of that money and see if we can do anything with it. Okay. All right. Our fender bender. Ford F-350 versus Honda something or other. Is it a Pilot? Honda Pilot. I'm thinking that, no, mind you, you can see the damage on the vehicle. There was no damage, but the driver didn't feel good enough to drive his own vehicle home. So you can see this is probably going to be a lawsuit. Okay. It actually looks like the Ford took the worst of it. That Honda doesn't even look scratched from what I can see, but it is what it is. So, guys, the driver, his statement said that he had a nice bit of room in front of him, and the car in front of him, they were in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, and this particular car swings into his lane and slams on the brakes, and he taps it, and there you have it. So you have to be not only a good driver, but you have to be a massively protective driver. There's a word for it. I don't remember what it's called, though. You just got to pay attention to everything and everybody. All right, there we go. Another double brokering situation. I'm going to walk down this with you. Okay. FTS broker, there's their MC, were the ones that brokered the load. Okay. They brokered it to Pittsburgh Haulers, Inc. Carrier, MC number 1487502. All right. Pittsburgh Haulers, Inc. Carrier double brokered this load to ZTN Logistics, Inc. Broker, MC 1535791. Now, let me just explain this to you. This carrier and this broker are working together. All right. They're 75 miles apart, and this is nothing more than a thieving scam, is all it is. Now, CTN Logistics, Inc. triple brokered this to us. They raised the price to $3,500. It was brokered to Pittsburgh Haulers for $2,000. They raised the price to $3,500 because ZTN never planned on paying anything. Okay, they're just out there scamming the money as long as they can scam it. These two businesses, again, are 75 miles apart. We reached out to both of them. Guess what? Nobody answers the phone. And nobody wanted to come, no emails, no phone, just gone. So let me show you how it works. These two garbage dumps thinks they're slick. This is how far they are apart, 75 miles. Well, here's FTS's load to Pittsburgh hauler. Okay, that's the rate confirmation that FTS issued Pittsburgh hauler. Okay, now here is the invoice for $2,000. All right, and they were trying to get this FTS broker to do a fast pay, and he didn't do it. Okay, this is the scam. We want a fast pay. And there is the signed rate confirmation. I'm sorry, the signed bill of lading that we sent to ZTN. All right, so ZTN sent it back to the Pittsburgh haulers. Pittsburgh haulers sent it to the original broker and tried to get a fast pay. So now look at us. Here we go. Here's ours. This is our rate confirmation from ZTN. Same load, but it's $3,500. Here's our invoice to ZTN Logistics for $3,500. Okay, we ran the load. We did the load. Take a look at this, guys. That's what we sent to ZTN Logistics as proof of delivery. You see that? Let's back up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Anything look familiar? Looks very familiar, right? Because it's ours. We did the load. That's my driver's signature down there. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, we finally got a hold of everybody, and you know, I made 100 phone calls, finally got things dealt with. But so you understand, we're losing money on the deal. We got back to the original broker, the FTSI. We got back to him, and he gave the load to this company for $2,000. Okay, they sent a bill to FTSI with our signed bill of lading, looking for a quick pay because they were out of it. All right. If you didn't get those names, I'm going to go back to make sure you got these names. Here they are. Pittsburgh Haulers, Inc., MC 1487502, and ZTN Logistics, Inc., MC 1535791. Pass it around, guys. Pass it around. All right, so let's go on. Cool pictures of the week we got coming up. All right, so this come in from Ian. Sorry. One of the coolest pictures I think I've ever seen taken right there. That's, I believe he told me that was to Ohio State University. Very cool. Very cool. This come in from Eric. I want to tell you something, guys. This is Eric's first week out, you know, and he has been given some loads. I'm telling you, they're not just any loads. They're just crazy loads he's been given. Bless his heart. But he's making it. He's getting better and better every day. And you will. First 90 days, you got to remember, you're going to be in your head. All right. This is a very nice picture, too. And this come in from Charles. Got the fall plumage there behind him. It's you know, it's amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. Now, this come in from Joe. I'm thinking there's no weight on this, by the way. He said it's just a aluminum, or not aluminum, but styrofoam roof panels of some sort. But long story short, Joe, when you get back, if you're here and you're listening, first thing you want to do is go home and get you a set of airbags for that truck. You got her squatting. All right, here's another one from Ian. Ian had some nice looking loads. He did really well with the pictures this week. I asked the guys to take pictures, include the truck and stuff. I mean, he just did a good job. Good job, Ian. Charles again. Pretty cool. It looks like a chiller for a roof, some kind of air conditioning chiller. But they're loading it on him right there. And then this is Bobby. It's really hard to see what he's got on there, but he's got, it's just some kind of equipment he's running. All right. So I think that's it. Let's see what. Oh, my bad. I didn't know you couldn't hear me. I was trying to remove that. You can't hear me? Okay. All right. So yeah, this guys, this double brokering stuff's craziness, and we're all going to have to get together and get this shit stopped because it's costing everybody money. Everybody. It's the brokers, it's the carriers. The guys in between us are garbage, and those guys are the ones that are stealing the freight and the money. Okay, we're basically running the stuff for free. All right, so a little bit of information here that if you didn't know, now you know. Over the past few years, DDT 214 Transport has become multinational. We have offices in the U.S., in India, and Bosnia-Herzegovina. Tonight, I wanted to show you some of our team members over in India. Okay. It's just a few pictures they shot over here to us. And I thought, all right, you look up on the wall there. You can see Bessie on the wall. Pretty cool. But this is Jake actually giving a class to some new team members that joined us. And he's walking down how the business is done. Here we got Rita. Rita is an assistant to Mila. And here's some dispatchers on the phones and making calls, making things happen for you guys. All right, so let's see if I can get all this done. I'm here. I hope everybody's had a good week. We're going to open this up to the floor for questions. I hope you got them. I hope you're ready for them. Now, yeah, these guys in India, Jake, he's been with me now for 2 years. Okay. And I'm very protective over that young man. He works his ass off, and he's a good dude. Now, I've had drivers that come to tell me, not DD214 drivers, but 86 drivers came and told me they didn't want to work with somebody from overseas. I said, well, that's awesome. Bye. Go. I'll lose 30 drivers, 30 86 drivers before I lose one Jake. I don't know how I can make that any clearer. These guys are fantastic at what they do. And we trained them. We brought them through the process. So if there's anybody out there considering 86 as a dispatch company and you have a problem with who I hire to run your truck, go somewhere else. That's where I'm at with it. I can't be any more straight. So now, I'm normally pretty easy going, but I had a 86 driver reach out and was pretty much a dick. I told him he could go away. Doesn't bother me. He pissed me off. You piss me off, you're going to get the back end of it. I'm going to tell you now. So I don't know how else to say it, but if my guys do something incorrect, I will be knee deep in their ass for it. Jake's had my foot in his ass more than once. If people have a problem with the way he talks or some kind of racist bullshit, you know what? They can all go fuck themselves. I'll tell you that right now. All right, let's lighten this up a little bit. We have questions.
We do, Mr. Bryan.
Who we got? My thing with the roadside inspections is if you're riding clean and never get pulled over, how do you get inspection? I don't know how anybody doesn't get inspected. I'll be honest with you. We had 2 today. 2. So if you go to our safer web, we've had 30, it'll be 35, 36 inspections. I don't know. We did have a driver one time though, to your point. We had a driver who was with us a couple years, and in those couple years, he never got an inspection. Now, if you want an inspection, you'll get one. All you got to do is run across every scale. Even when they bypass you, go in. You'll get an inspection eventually, but you better hope you're right, because you got to watch what you ask for, because you're going to get it. It's a great question, though. I appreciate it. All right, what do we got? Hey, Bryan, I told you a couple months ago that I plan on getting into Hotshot Trucking next year. After laying out the numbers, I just can't seem to make it work for myself. Well, Dale, look, if you can't make it work, then it doesn't work. And you have to understand that. And you're a wise man by understanding what your numbers are telling you. If you get in this business wrong, it will eat you alive. You will be working for payments, and that's not the way to do it. It is not. Now, you hear me talk about Jeremy a lot, but Jeremy's been home now for a couple weeks. I'd say he's getting itching to get back on the road, but he got into this thing right. He's made good money. He's banking his money, and he can afford to set out a week set out 10 days. He's going back out tomorrow. I think he's been out 10 days, but he can afford to do that without absolutely throwing him into, financial ruin. So Dale, you're wise in that you understand how to make your numbers run. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can do it, you can do it. Either way, you're right. But you have to look at your numbers. Now, Dale, just go over to Patreon, hit me up with a question over there, and I'll try to help you look at your numbers. I'm willing to do that and tell you where you're messing up. I'm happy to do that. All right. So I hope that helps you, buddy. This is Nick, by the way. Hey, Nick, by the way. It's a weird last name, but okay.
That's how we make it.
I know.
I
know. King of None is Nick. There you go. I like Nick. Nick's a North Carolina boy. So his package goes out tomorrow. We just got all his drug stuff back. His package goes out tomorrow. I think he's going to start on Monday. Welcome to the family, Nick. All right. So what do we got? I just thought, Amon. Hey, Amon. I just thought I'd let everybody know that GoMotive is using lawyers to collect on subscription balances. If you go out of business and if you reach out to Motive, you can tell these guys, and if you reach out to Motive, you can tell these guys are using English names, but I understand. Hey, look, it's business, Amon. The thing about business, it is business. If you get to the point of closing your LLC, you need to file bankruptcy on it, okay? Just file bankruptcy. Tell them you're going to file bankruptcy. That's it. You can't just close the business and leave it lay over there and let your debts that your business accrued. That's not going to work. If you're going to close a business, you got to shut it down, file the right paperwork, and then you're done. Okay? They're going to do everything they can. They have to. All right. So here's how it's going to work is you have to understand that they have to make a concerted effort to collect the debts. If they don't, they're unable to file it on their taxes as bad debt. Okay. So they're doing what I'm about to do when I go to see this situation out that with this guy I just terminated. I'm going to collect the debt. Okay.
And they have to do it too if they're running their business, right?
Who? Motive?
No,
Yeah.
the drivers.
No, the driver. It's their business. It's yeah. They have to do it. All right. What would you say an average per reasonable gross number weekly in today's market for a CDL hotshot? Depends on the driver, guy. Hey, Robert, I'm going to tell you now. You cannot, if you're looking for pretty reasonable gross, it's going to depend on the driver. And I'm going to tell you now that the driver of Eric today is not going to be the same driver 90 days from now. What he's making today is exactly what I expect. Where, when you will get better as you go along. But if you want just a rough number, you can go 3 to 7 in that. And that depends on the driver. Okay. I hope that answers your question. But that's pretty much what it can be. That's it. Look at us go. 32 minutes right on the button. Who we got over here? Anybody?
I got a couple of comments.
Yeah, we got some comments. All right. Yeah, I'm just kind of reading. See, this is why she doesn't let me go over here, because I just shut up and start reading stuff I'm not supposed to be reading. So, just an FYI, if I just leased on my second truck with the goal of 15 by the end of 24, learned a lot here. There you go. I hope so. I'm proud of you, Ozzy. But just remember, man, safety, safety, safety. You got to preach it. You got to do it. You got to make sure they're doing it. And if they're not being safe, you get rid of them. I'm going to tell you now, you'll get rid of them. You got to get rid of them because they'll ruin you. Absolutely. All right. Joe Rogers, shoot me a message on what the airbags you have. I will. I will. I'll take a picture of it. But you do need airbags, man. You're squatting hard. And I did the same thing. I went to Colorado, went across 80, and it liked to beat me to death. And I think it was my second run out, and hell no. I come back, got airbags, set it up to go, had them installed. You want to get the one I've got, just so you know, is it's got an onboard compressor with a remote control in the cab. So if you start that, this kind of stuff going down the road, you can tighten it up. And you got to have that because you don't want to be stopping when it's raining, climbing up underneath of it, trying to find an air valve to pump this stuff up. What else we got? That's it? All right. Well, look, guys, I really appreciate you stopping in. I know tonight was a little heavy, more than I like to do it, but I'm putting the word out there. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, I'm always around. And if you don't do anything else this week, love your family. And have fun, man. I'll be honest with you. This week, I haven't had a lot of fun. It's been a shit show with all this double brokering, an accident, and all the other stuff. But it's part of the game. This is what it is. If did I have fun doing it? Not yet.
Week's not over.
Week's not over, but not yet. And we'll see you next week. Well, you got a question? What you got? Are spot rates representative of the rates per mile you're seeing? Pretty much, Albert. The problem is right now, I'm going to tell you, just like I said last week, if you didn't see last week, go back and look at it. But there's just too many trucks on the road. The load rejection rate, the load tender rate, load tender rejection rate is almost zero. That means the brokers can throw out whatever they want. Somebody's going to be there to take it. Got to be able to survive this kind of mess. There's too many trucks on the road. We're not losing enough rapidly enough to make this happen. So people like me who are no longer taking new MCs, people like the big brokers out there that are no longer onboarding carriers, all this is a sign. This is how people are just done dealing with it. And, you know, we got to get these double brokers out of there. To give you an idea, from the time I got my authority to the time this ZTN Logistics got their authority, there was over 500,000 MCs issued. Think about that. 500,000. There's not enough freight for that, guys. Not in brokerage, not in the transportation carrier end. There's just not. So, and then you've got the double brokers out there that's doing nothing but lying, cheating, and stealing. Okay, I'm going to be calling these people. I will eventually get them on the phone. So, yeah. All right, guys. We appreciate you. Love your family. Like I said, this is Bryan with DD214 Transport. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Enjoy life. Short. Love you, me.